Hey y'all, we about to start in just a second. Hold on. Hey y'all, what's up? What is up? What is up, honey? Happy Sunday. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, there we go. I see my bubble moving. Okay, there we go. Hey y'all, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday, honey. Let me see. You know what? Don't you hate when you thought you said yourself something, but then you accidentally sent it to somebody else? But the person I accidentally sent it to, honey, I'm not even mad at that because they just responded to me. And and if I see this person drop down in this chat, I am going to be so tickled. Okay. Anywho, happy Sunday, y'all. We have made it to the end of a thing, but the beginning of a thing. Okay, we made it to the end of the weekend, but the start of another work week. Okay, and today at church, one of the old church mothers came up to me and they said, "You know what? It's so good to see you." My dumb tail says, "Well, it's better to be seen and not viewed." And she just started screaming like I said something crazy. But then I had to sit down and process what I said. And we are in a day and time where you are here today and gone today. It's no longer here today, gone tomorrow. No, 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 no. I'm starting to hate getting on social media because now every time I hop on Facebook, whatever, it's always a rest in peace. So, honey, I just, yeah, I'm going to protect my peace by not even looking at that. But anywho, honey, it is Sunday, okay? The person just responded to me again. I am so sorry. That means you probably listened. I did not mean. I meant to send that to myself because I was going to use that for today. But when I saw you respond, I said, "Wait a minute, hold on, what?" There she go. Hey, Angie. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to send that to you, Angie. I am so sorry. But I'm glad I did because honey, we gonna talk about that thing. I heard what I just sent you by accident. I heard that over there at J Dunn's this morning as I was getting ready to leave my house for service number 2 today. But anyway, honey, let's go ahead and jump right into the roll call. Okay, let me do this before Envy texts me say put the comments on the screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have, of course, Vibrant Lull moderator extraordinaire. Shout out to M. Bernie for that, okay? Mimi, hey, Sugar Pie, welcome on in. Happy Sunday with your pretty self. Who was that goose, my Charlie Boo? Charlie said, "Whew, I'm ready." I had someone leave a soda in the freezer. You can guess what happened, but it's done. Listen, I got my Zevias and everything else here for the week, so I'm good. I am good. So we got Charlie, we got my boo, we got Angie. Angie already cracking up. I promise you, I did not mean to send that to you, but I'm glad I did because we're gonna talk about this. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and talk about this part right now because it's just us girls here, okay? So let's talk. So today over at J Dunn's, okay, put a pin in that. Y'all don't understand. J Dunn is a walking jukebox. I was just over at J Dunn's, her second live. She's talking about this pot. And as soon as I get over there, she starts singing a song. And I said, hold on, J Dunn, I literally just sung this song at church today. And then she went on to something. I'm just like, yo, how did you go from Tremaine Hawkins to Kirk Franklin back in 1997, down to Alabama State Mass Choir? Like, this girl, she is a walking jukebox, and I love it. We was, Charlie. We was getting church at J Don's. I'm like, girl. Oh, I loved every bit of it. I love it. And I keep forgetting that J Dunn was actually raised in church. That's probably why I like her as much as I do, especially when she gets in her bag and starts singing all of these songs. Her favorite song that I always hear her sing is by Alabama State Mass Choir. Honey, my soul got another dip. And every time she sings it, honey, it just blesses me. So I was over there at her first live today, and she was putting up receipts and stuff, and it was one receipt that crossed my mind. Well, it didn't cross my mind, it crossed my eyes because I looked at it. And when I looked at it, my eyes really did do a crisscross because I'm just like, the nerve of you. So, Angie, am I lying when I say this? Am I lying, Angie? So she showed a receipt from Lipstick Alley. And here's what I don't understand. Okay. I love the LGBTQIA community. In the words of T.S. Madison, she calls it the Levitical community. I love them. I ain't got no problem with them, right? But what I have a problem with are those that are trans women, and then they want all of this respect, but yet they still find a way to disrespect biological women. And then when I saw this receipt, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I thought about what's that girl name? Oh, Holy Ghost help me. What is it? She did Breakfast Club. Just hilarious. I think that was her. She went viral because of a comment or a response that she made to, I want to say T.S. Madison. I may have the person wrong, but they were talking. No, it was not T.S. Madison. It wasn't. It was somebody else. They were talking about how females have that time of the month, and they were just like, who made y'all the gatekeepers of periods, right? And so this receipt that Jay Dunn showed today took me back to that time in social media, and I'm just like, the nerve, the nerve. So the receipt says, and I quote, this is from Lady Dimples. The receipt says, fonts, I don't even know who fonts is, but it says, fonts is free bleeding really a thing. I'm glad God made me a nigga. Mm, mm. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I shouldn't have read that while I was getting ready for church because that comment pissed me off so bad. See, because I feel like in moments like that, they want the luxuries that come along with being a woman, but they don't want to go through what women go through. So glad God made me a nigga, but yet and still, you want to sit your. God bless America. What y'all is saying? How is it transphobic to say that a trans woman will never know what we go through? I don't think it's transphobic at all. I don't. I think, hold on, let me read this again. How is it transphobic to say that a trans woman will never know what we go through? Okay, no, I did read that right. I don't think it's transphobic at all because in the words of the Gov, Rick Reed, these are just the facts of their life. They're not going to have a period. They don't know what how it feels leading up to it. Feel like you got a whole marching band full of midgets all in your lower back, and everywhere else where you crap. They'll never understand that. Never. They'll never understand. Some people, I know some people it lasts 2 days. I don't know how theirs last 2 days, but then I know some people it lasts from 2 to 7. They'll never understand. Who we? They'll never understand how it feels to be literally on go because you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and it's that time of the month. I'm gonna cuss you out because I'm already irritated. But then what I don't understand also is how people can say stuff like that, but if you're on this earth, guess what? Your mama had to bleed. So I don't understand that. So on one hand, listen, I have a feeling these people really hate or they have a disdain or a dislike for their mamas. Because on one hand, you got one person who said he taking a break from this YouTube thing because his tweets came out and he already talking all this shit about and it is Sunday, Father God help me. Oh God forgive me. He already talking crap about black women, but your mama black. And then on the other hand, you got this individual on Lipstick Alley talking about some is free bleeding really a thing? I'm glad God made me a nigga. So does that mean you have a disdain for your mammy? Y'all, that thing really bothered me today. They better thank God they don't have. Listen, listen. That's why I said they want the luxuries and the looks of a woman, in the words of Treasure Lane, in their femininity, but you don't. You don't know the struggle. You don't know the struggle, honey. Buying a dope pair of jeans one day, then your cycle come on, and then you think you about to be cute and put them on, and now you blowed it. Okay, thank you, ghetto. I appreciate you. God bless you too, bro. I have a problem with that. Hey, Kimberly Black. Thank you so much for dropping on down. Now, Sweet One said, but they want us to call them a woman, but they glad God made them a nigga. Please miss me. Do you hear what I'm saying on today? Because that thing really bothered me. And then it took me back to a time in the beef sector when there was some women that was upset because another OG content creator called women blood drippers. So I'm like, like listen, that thing really bothered me, especially coming from the person that that posted it. So glad God made you a nigga. Mm, okay, well, if you're happy God made you a nigga, then live life like one. Stop buying dresses from Cato's, Catherine's, or Lane Bryant, and everywhere else. Stop buying them rainbow ballerina shoes. If you glad God made you a nigga, live in it. Don't, yeah, I'm really trying my best not to cuss, okay? Oh, Jesus. Like, that thing really bothered me. You know, I know, Charlie, but I had to get this part out my system, okay? Because I this part I wanted to get out my system, and I didn't want you up here, and then people started attacking you because no. I said it, me myself and I hate hey Sour Patch, hey Booski, I hate when men that want to live life like a woman say stuff like that. But then they want to become offended when women respond the way that they respond. Okay? Like you can do that build a bear, build a gender stuff over there on your own, and baby, that's between you and your God. That's between you and your God. But if you glad God made you a nigga, then why don't you live life like the gender God made you? Instead of trying to throw shots at the same gender that brought you into this world. Because had it not been for your mama bleeding, guess what? I mean, what would you have been? A test tube baby? Like that really. Exactly, Charlie. I am woman first and foremost, and I will die on that cross protecting women. Listen, that's why I said yesterday, I am woman first. I don't care what nobody say. That's why I told Ghetto and Mr. Carruthers yesterday, I stand with 88 on whatever she said happened to her. I'm woman first. Period. Period. That y'all don't. Oh, okay. I'm starting to come down from that because that thing really bothered me. Okay. So now that I got that foolishness out the way, it doesn't mean I don't respect their choices. But don't. Okay. But don't. Are you trying to say demonize me to oh, don't demean me to uplift you? Absolutely. See, because they could say stuff like that, but then when their life choices and who they decide to live life as is talked about in a negative way, then it's a problem. Now, please let me say this. This does not apply to all of them. This applies to those that do it. Okay? Let's see. And I'm even more upset by the comment because I'm on it. Baby, listen. Sweet one. Girl, lean in real close. It's just us girls talking, okay? When I say you are preaching to the choir, because this morning when I got up, I said, "Ooh, I got this bad white dress that I'm gonna wear because I couldn't wear it last week because honey, we had to be in full convocation attire. So I'm not putting on a bad white dress under a choir robe with surplices and everything. I ain't doing all that, right? So I got up today to put it on, and as soon as I put it on, it felt like little Timmy and his entire marching band started marching up and down my back. I said, "Oh God, here we go." Okay. All right, so I said, I'm not taking no chances. And we're just about to scratch all of this and put this white dress back in the closet at least for another week or two. Okay? Listen, we got to be careful with the white. Got to be. Listen, and I'm of the age where I don't care what nobody say. I'm about to be 39 next month. And I'm still one of the ones that wear a slip under my dress. Baby, call me old school all you want to. I believe in wearing slips under dresses, especially at church. Amen. I still believe in wearing pantyhose. Amen. Okay. I believe in buttoning it all the way up. I don't want nothing hanging out. You see what I'm saying? But sweet one, trust me, honey, I am right there with you. Okay? I am right there with you. And it ain't listen. That be the time I be wanting to say, Lord, you just gonna have to I'm gonna repent now for everything that I'm going to possibly say over the next 7 days because you know it's coming from a place of anguish and from a place of hurt. Okay? Because if I could go find where Eve was buried and dig her up and smack on her face, I would. But enough of that, okay? We never know when it's gonna hit. Either it never comes on time either, and that's very true. That's very true. That's why I'm just like these men that want to live lives as women, but then they want to put down what a woman goes through because they're an actual woman. And listen, I have a big problem with that. I do. So when that community is attacked, don't come looking for me. Please don't. Mm-mm. And once again, that does not apply to all of my trans babies out there because it's some ones out here that's really on the biological train. Okay, like I know I'm a man. I just live life like a woman, and I kudos to y'all. Like y'all deal with a hard. See those I can rock with. I can respect. It's those other ones like the one that posted on Lipstick Alley. Anyway, listen, what you say? Praying sweet one at RY Boo. I'm on that shot, so I ain't having. Oh, baby, listen. God bless you, honey. You are lucky. Okay, you are very, very exactly sweet one. Lucky. It sneaks up on us like. Listen, that thing sneak up on us like it came to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay. I hate it. Like, gee, and I really hate it during the summertime too. Okay. Ooh, I was able to get that off my chest. So, today's topic. We're going to be talking about the topic is pretty much dating someone with kids, aka a package deal. Now, for those of y'all that have been following this beef sector story, this is kind of where this topic kind of was birthed from. And I think Charlie remembers we kind of touched on one video before. I kind of just dropped the link in the chat. And then when I was listening to Envy and he was talking to NEK about the whole Darla, Daria, Barney, whatever her name is, and this child and the water bottle and the mama and the this and the that, and then the baby mama posted. I said, hold on. I said, I think I want to talk about this with you ladies, okay? So Charlie, I'm getting ready to drop y'all. But I tell y'all, this story has really baffled me because hold on, there you go, Charlie. This story is really baffling me because I'm almost certain that trying to date a single parent, whether it's a man trying to date a single woman or a single mother, or a single mother or a mother trying to date a single father, okay, cool. But when both parties have children, there she go. Hold on. Hey, Booski.
You knew I was coming.
I knew you was. Oh, I love this
Oh
picture.
yeah. Okay. So I gotta tell you, Toya took my picture and she put it through the sign, and
Uh-huh.
it's my exact picture. It just cleaned it up and stuff. And I'm like, oh girl,
Oh,
my titties looking right in this picture.
that is a very pretty picture. Okay,
I'm like,
girl.
girl, do you boo boo? Toya got
I
the hookup.
love
Holla
it.
if you hear me.
That is not. Oh, and you and I got to talk, Charlie, because I did not know you wrote that song over there at J.
Yeah,
John's.
yeah. I wrote
We
the song.
we gonna chat. We gonna chat. I promise. Cause honey, I need to
Okay.
do something. Now, so Charlie, I'm sure you're aware of what's been happening. So we had the situation that came out. I guess a child that belonged to another party um cursed out or whatever the case may be according to her, cussed her out, and I guess she threw a water bottle, whatever the case may be. Boom. Okay. And so I guess the father got upset, rightfully so, and then the baby mama was upset, rightfully so. So then my question then becomes, okay, what are some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to dating someone with children, especially if they're in your house or they are in your care for whatever length of time, whether you babysitting them or whatever the case may be? What are some do's and don'ts? Do you feel like it is okay to discipline your significant other's child?
Okay, it's going to come down to what kind of relationship you're in, right?
Okay.
So if you're in a marriage and they've been in that child's life since they were very little and they
Mhm.
see that person as a parental figure,
Mhm.
then they should be able to be a parental figure. If you can give a child a hug and you can give a child love, then you can also discipline them. But it also depends on, I'm going to say this, as a parent, if
Mhm.
you are with someone who maybe doesn't understand it, teach them how to discipline your child. What is acceptable, what is not. Put down
Mhm.
ground rules. And as we say, we talked about this last week, boundaries, right?
Boundaries, exactly.
So, my son's too old for spankings, but let's say I got with my husband when he was very, very young. And he
Mhm.
knew him since he was very, very young.
Okay.
But, we would have boundaries of what is acceptable and what is not. Now, did I date before I got with my husband? Yes. They were not allowed to touch my child. No,
Okay.
I was trying to date a dude who had a child, and I had a child, right?
Mhm.
He takes care of his parenting responsibility
Hey,
and I
Angela.
take care of mine. Now, if we had went further in the relationship than just talking,
Mhm.
right? And it had went into like I'm taking care of this kid 24/7, you're taking care of my kid 24/7, vice
Mhm.
versa. But we still would have had ground rules. What does he accept with his child? Do you want me just to ground him? What are your parameters? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to go by yours, and you go by mine. Because what
Okay.
you're not going to do when I have a special needs child is lift them up off the ground. Because I'm going to tell you, this is one of the reasons why me and that person didn't work out. He lifted his 3-year-old up off the ground with a spanking. I don't
Oh,
believe in that.
what?
I do not believe in that. A 3-year-old, no. They're too young. They need boundaries and they need consequences, but not to that extreme. That's too extreme. You get what I'm saying on my book. But that's
Hmm.
his child. I can't tell him what to do. It wasn't a like if it would had become abusive, I would have knocked the shit out of it. But
Okay.
you know,
I mean,
but it was too much in my book. Right. So in my
okay.
book, a 3-year-old is pop the hand. No, you get out of that and you be the parent and watch the 3-year-old. Right? Because a 3-year-old does not understand sometimes when you're doing stuff like that. Now, timeouts, and you got to keep them short. Here's the thing about a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, something like that, a very young child, their
Hmm.
attention span is so short, they'll lose track of
Yes.
why they are in trouble.
Yep.
So you
That's
have
I
to
can
make
agree
the
with that.
you have to make the punishment fit the crime. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're trying to reach their hand up and grab something, you go, no, we don't do that. That'll hurt you. And let me
Right.
explain you why. And you take their hand, you hold it to where they can't touch it, but they can feel the heat coming off of it. I said, you feel that heat? They go, yeah. I said, if you touch any further, that's going to burn and it's going to hurt and be painful. And they'll usually never reach for anything hot ever again. But you show them a little bit, not enough to hurt them, just like show, where you can feel it coming off of it. Because you can feel it
Hmm.
from a distance. You don't have to put your hand completely near it. And you go, you feel that heat? And they can feel it. And they go, yeah. I said, now, if you touch that, it's going to burn. It's going to hurt really, really bad. And most kids will never reach for it again because they realize the consequences of what can happen, right? And that it will hurt.
Okay.
And let's say if they've fallen in the past and they've scraped up their knee or something, you
Right.
equate it to that. So you would go, remember that time that you fell and you bumped your knee and it hurt and mommy had to put a boo-boo Band-Aid on it? And they go,
Right.
yeah, this would be 20 times worse. And they're like,
Mm.
ooh, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Ooh,
That
because
makes
it,
sense.
it jogs the memory. But when you're in a situationship of a friendship wise that
Hmm.
you're just being around each other, no. You should be handling that as the parent. And I'm going to say this, my child had a little bit of anger issues at that age of that child because he hit it before puberty, if that makes sense. His anger stage. Most boys go through it, right?
Hmm.
During a certain time in their life. It's up to the parent to stop that in its tracks. My son would never disrespect his elder unless they gave him a
Right.
reason to, which means they had to do something bad
To
if I
him. Yep.
to him. And I would be over there asking my child, what happened? Because my kid has always I've instilled the truth in him, right? And if I catch him lying, and he knows if I catch him, and I will catch him, that it's
Hmm.
going to be 20 times worse for him than if he'd have told me the truth in the first place. And so it comes down to both sides are wrong on this. She should have never tried to discipline someone else's child. She should have went directly to the parent, directly to New York King and his baby mama said, look, your son is disrespecting me. I cannot have him in my house anymore. If he's not going to, mind such rules and he's going to disrespect me, call me the B word, do these things, try to put hands on people, and you don't correct it, I can't have him at my house anymore around
See
my
that?
child.
See now that right there. That's where I have a different opinion. See, because my house, my rules.
Yeah, but most of the time it's going to be your family member or somebody that you're really close to. This
That's
situation, these are
true.
people who met off the internet and they just willy nilly bringing these kids around each other and willy nilly having people putting hands. I don't, now, if it's one of my nieces and nephews, right, I'm going to sit
Hmm.
down, I'm going to have a start time, I'm going to look him in the eye. Look, I'm going to say this. I could have got that kid to stop disrespecting, stop screaming, and I didn't have to put a hand on him.
Mm.
Not one hand. All I got was look him in the eye and go, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, child. My
Now,
nieces and
no,
nephews.
no,
Oh, baby,
let
we
me
can
ask
tear
you,
they tail up.
this is another thing you can do to a child. So why do you think it's okay for you to put your hands on me, but for
Hmm.
me not to put my hands on you? Now, if you don't want me to put my
Good
hands on
question.
you, I suggest you to keep your hands to yourself. Do we have an understanding?
Mm.
Most kids, because you use that tone, it's not about screaming. You don't have to scream with a
Yeah,
kid.
sometimes I feel like you don't have to scream at them to get your point across, but sometimes a kid will just push you there
Oh no, sometimes you gotta go,
because
get your little ass out of that shit. What I tell you? And it's scare
because
them enough, they'll freak out.
Charlie, speaking of, I don't know if you see like these little clips going around
Did you see that one little
of
boy in the bathroom? where the mama told him, he kept saying, "I'm sorry, mom," and he kept trying to reach for the food. And then
Yes.
she hollered at him. She goes, "What I tell you, get your—" And he looked so startled and took out running and started crying. You could tell she's raised him right because that child freaked out because she don't
Listen.
never use that voice. She don't never do that.
Sometimes you gotta, swell your chest up and be like, hold on, I don't know who the hell you think you talking to. Cause every now and again I got to come out the bag on my nieces and nephews and be like,
I
who y'all
call it the
think I
mama
am?
voice. That scary voice that I get
Listen.
when I say I get down to a child's level and I look them directly in the eye, and I get this tone in my voice that it's not like my normal tone, right? It's like, "What do you
Hmm.
think you're doing? Did I tell you to do that? No, ma'am. Go sit down right now." And I mean it. I am not playing with you. I'm not arguing with you. You're going to sit down and think about your actions. Then we'll have a conversation after this, but you better go sit it down right now.
See, I can have that
It's
tone
that
with one of my
tone.
nephews. I can have that tone with one of my nephews, the youngest one. Okay, and I can have that tone with him, and he'll look at me. He'll be like,
He look at you like you
"You
crazy.
funny," and then he'll walk off, and I'll be like, "Excuse me," and
Then I'm
I
going to holler
know
out
he's
that
scared,
government.
and I know he be scared because when he walk off, he tries to. He's like 6, so he'll try to walk off and act like he, ain't scared. But I peek around the corner, and I see him peeking to see if I'm watching. Yeah, come here. Who you talking to? And his uncle would tear him up. Okay, his uncles do not play about that. That's why I'm just like, I don't know. This whole Darla and NEK and the child thing, it's weird to me. It's weird because I'm looking at it from both standpoints, even though I'm not a parent. She has children. He has a kid that we know of. I don't know if he has multiples. But my question to you, Charlie, is what does a healthy boundary with an ex or a co-parent look like to you?
Okay, so when I wanted to co-parent with my ex,
Hmm.
the only ground rules I think you should have that is, okay, so we're on the same thought process when it comes to discipline, right? You may discipline
Angela,
your way. I'm
listen, gangster, do you hear me?
straight up G.
Especially them, but it's not the girls, it's the boys, and it ain't even all three of them. It's two of them, and the two of them that it is they brothers.
And they opinionated.
Listen, the youngest one, my God, today he is 2 foot nothing,
But he thinks he's
but
six foot
has the
four.
attitude of Andre the Giant.
He
Do
thinks
you hear
he's seven
me?
foot already.
I'd be like, little boy, who you talking to? Or he'll get a hold of his mama phone and then he'll video call me. And if I don't answer, and then I call him back, his response is, TT, what you doing? Where was you? You couldn't answer my phone call.
What was so important you had to
Excuse
ignore me?
me? That's it. And I'm just like, little boy, who are you talking to? And then he'll be like, who you got at your house? Why'd you worry about who over here? Yeah, I got to get gangster with my nephews. My nieces, oh God, they're perfect angels, okay? That 13-year-old, perfect in every way. Her sister, perfect. Ooh, but them nephews, boy, I don't know what it is about boys,
I'm gonna tell
but
you, I had to. I've had to
whew,
get a lot more gangster with my male male cousins. See,
listen.
my cousins are all extremely younger than me, right? So I was looked at sometimes as another authority figure when they mom and daddy wasn't around, right? So I was like 13
Uh-huh.
years old when they was little big kids. I was already
Hmm.
13 or 14, and some of them I was looked upon as another authority figure, and the girls, oh, it was easier with a lot of them when they're young.
Yes.
The boys, they're a little bit more rough and tumbly, but I'll say when they get older, it's the
Hmm.
vice versa.
Okay.
Little, because they go through that hard head stage early. Sometimes with
Yes.
boys, it's easier to deal with them when they're older. Versus girls, they go through it later, and then you got to add the hormonal changes on top of that.
Whew. Listen, and I thank God I don't have to deal with that. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with it.
I'm glad
My
I did
because
not
my
have a
sister
girl. I think
is
I'd be in jail. I think I'd be in
Listen,
jail right now. I'm just saying. Because
cause
them
I
little
have to
boys,
them
them
little
little disrespectful
boys.
boys with my
Mm,
daughter. Oh no, y'all. See, y'all. Thank God, I think God knew me not to give me a daughter, to only give me a son, and I think He knew me that well enough. Like
yeah.
but boundaries, like we were talking about for like
Yep.
your significant other and co-parenting, right? So I would say that the main boundary is whoever you're going to be bringing around my child, I need to know who they are,
Thank
right?
you, Sour Patch.
So
Absolutely. You were one of
part
those?
time part-time girlfriends are not to be
Mm,
around my child. And now if y'all plan to be together for a very long time, that's a different story. I would like to meet
okay.
her, get to know her as a person, her get to know me, so there's no what do you call that, like miscommunications between us.
Right.
I want her to have my number and vice versa. So if she needs to call me and say, hey, da 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 da, then we can have that open line, right? um
Hmm.
and same for me. See, it ain't no double standard. I can't have part-time boyfriends around our
Right.
child either, because it's the standard that we set as a co-parenting relationship that makes it work well.
Thank you, Angela.
You have I can't speak from personal experience, but I've seen very good co-parenting
Right.
happening. And what happens with good co-parenting, what I've seen versus bad, is the
Hmm.
fact that they have those open lines of communication, the fact that they can talk about things and sit down and be on the same parenting length. Like
Right.
this is what we will allow. Homework will be done by such and such time. You pick them up on da da da. I pick them up on da da da. We got this all planned out. We already know where we're going. We're going to both stand firm on these issues and
Hmm.
these morals, right? And a bad co-parenting is they never speak about it. One's jealous of the other one, or both are when they get new relationships and things of that nature. Like you have to as long as the other person that gets with your partner treats your child well,
Right.
that's all that matters. And if
Oh,
they
and
end
hold on,
up,
Angela. I hope you stay in this chat because right when we done with this, I'm gonna play a video, and I would love to know your thoughts on it. I think Charlie knows what video I'm getting ready to play after this
ooh,
because
I'm ready.
we talked about it. I think you know, but go ahead and finish your thought, boo.
But as in, like, I think it comes down with co-parenting and things like that is everybody has to be on the same wavelength. With this situation that
Absolutely.
happened with them, though, they're not even in an area to be considered co-parenting. They're not even in an area. They are friends with
Hmm.
benefits. You don't. Okay, first off, if you know that person's not going to be alive, don't bring them around your child like that, because I'm going to explain to you why. My son don't even know the people that I was supposedly dating, would never know them, because children get
Right.
attached. You
They do.
cannot pull people in and out of a child's life. It brings in not stability, but the opposite. What's the word I'm looking for?
Instability.
Instability. Thank you.
Hmm.
Instability in the child's life. So now the child wonders what happened to that person. They miss them.
Yes. No, that
You're
I definitely agree with. Because, and also, I feel like as women, I'm sure you said this once or twice, or even had the thought in your head, um, especially when you got into your dating years. I'm sure you've had those moments where you're just like, dang, I'm getting mixed signals from him. I feel like if a single parent, whether it is the mother or the father, brings random people around their children, those mixed signals that we get as women,
the
those
children
children
get.
also get, because they don't know, like, okay, Uncle Johnny today, Uncle Bob tomorrow, like, who are all these people?
I got a story for you. So a
Hmm.
friend of mine, now her kids are almost grown. One of her
Hmm.
children looked at her and said, and this is the reason I didn't do what she did. She had a different dude every few weeks, having the kids calling him daddy. Then he's gone. He's abusive to her and the kids, right? And her son looked at her and said, you cared more about yourself than you did me. You cared more about your cootie cat than you did me. That is the one thing that I never wanted my son
What?
to look at me and say, because this is what people don't understand. Your kids are looking at you not only, right, as their parental figure and their guidebook, but also when they go out in this world and they're looking for relationships, you're setting the standard for them of what you will and will not receive. So if you are going out here dating this one, that one, and the next one, and you can't find love and you're getting in abusive relationships, you're getting with dudes who are literally singling you out as a single parent,
Yep.
because of your kids, and they're wanting to touch on your babies, they're gonna repeat that cycle if they don't break it themselves.
Absolutely.
Hopefully they will. But you're teaching your daughters what to expect if you get with a guy who's abusive, that this is normal, this is love.
Exactly, because children's minds are like sponges. They soak up everything. And then my opinion is children they have a tendency of repeating the same offenses that they've seen happen
Their
in the
parents.
household because to them they probably think it's normal because that's what they see
That
on an
is their
everyday
normal.
basis.
If you think
They
about it,
don't know that it's not right.
that becomes their normal. For a
Yep.
man to cheat on a woman, for a man to beat on a woman, for a boy to see that, right? A young man. Like if we equate it to an internet situation,
Hmm.
I think pretty much everybody's run across the Blueface situation with all his
Oh
dysfunction,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
He learned from a very young age that his
Hmm.
mother would take whatever his father did to her. She may fuss about it. She may
Hmm.
cuss about it. She may kick him out, then take him back, kick him out, take him back. But she's always going to take him back, right? That's what he saw as normal. Now, it's not justifying any of his behavior because he could break that chain, right? But once you see that dysfunction as normal and that as love,
Hmm.
right? And the different things that happen in your household, your dad with this woman, that woman, separate all the time, and then they'll
Right.
get back together, and then da 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 da. Then that becomes your normal, and you start to repeat
Hey
that in
Toya.
your own life, and it is not normal. It is
Exactly.
toxic.
And and unfortunately, toxicity is some women's norm. They don't know what it means to not deal with toxic people, whether it's relationship, friendships, anything else like that. So, unfortunately, toxicity is very, very common and it's accepted by more people than I'm willing to admit. Okay, I think it's weird, but I want to show this video since we're talking about dating.
Hey, Toya Boo.
Us, hey, Toya Boo, especially since we're talking about dating, whether you're dating a single parent or you're dating someone and you have a child and then they have a child. So I'm getting ready. Let's
Oh, I know what
see.
video it is. I'm pretty sure.
We talked about it. Hold on, and I really want to get. Is this it? Yep, this is it. Hold on. And I want to know if y'all can hear it. Hold on. Let me do it this way. Is it showing? Hold on. Oh, I gotta add it.
Yeah,
Hold
girl, you
on.
gotta add it to screen.
Ooh, Chad, I'm still new to this, honey.
You
Let's
know
see.
I
Okay,
got you
there
though.
you
You
go.
got me up here, so you good.
Okay, boom. Now you know what video this is, Charlie.
Heck yes, I do
Ah,
know exactly.
so I'm getting ready to play this. Hold on.
I don't mind dating women who have kids, but I don't want to see the kids. I don't want to deal with the kids. Because my thing is, I'm there for you. I'm not there for the kids.
So
Right,
you would
I'm
date
there.
a single mom, you just wouldn't take her seriously.
No, I'm going to take her seriously. I'm going to treat her the way she wants to be treated, but I don't want to deal with the kids.
Are you
I'm
saying
not there
forever?
for the kids.
How does that work, bro?
Starting a conversation. I don't want nothing to do with the kids. I don't want to see the kids. Go date women without kids. It's such a simple solution because what I find is that there are a lot of men that don't mind dating single mothers so long as they put her being single before she puts her being mother.
Why would I?
Y'all
why-
want to date women that have children, but want them to act like women that don't have children. Y'all want to date male-centered women
Why
that
would
are
I
willing
date
to
my-
put their children on the back end so that she can appease the fact that you don't want to be around her kids.
So my question to you will be, why would I shrink my dating pool?
Cause you don't want to be
Why
around
would I
these
shrink my dating
kids.
pool?
You got kids?
Yes, I do. I got kids. Hold on. But I'm not looking for a mom. I'm not looking for a mom for my kids. I'm not looking for a mom for my kids, and I'm not looking for her to take care of my kids. My kids are my kids.
The difference between a father and a mother is that this is part of our lifestyle and it's part of y'all sometimes duties. To say that I want a woman with kids
No.
and I don't have
Right.
to see her kids,
No, no,
women live with their children.
Thank you for your question. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I'm ready to tear his ass up.
Why they booing into a seat?
Security.
Boo!
Security.
Boo!
On a serious note, the danger is there are men that feel that way, but they won't say. Like there are men that will convince you that they're looking for something serious, but they know that they.
I'm booing him to his seat. I'm booing him to his
Baby,
seat.
baby, listen, okay? When I tell you, Charlie, mm,
And he's wrong
mm,
on his point too. I'm gonna tell you, I can tell you he's wrong from both
woo,
sides. Because if you can't accept me, you can't accept. If you can't accept my kid, you can't accept me. Because he's
period,
always gonna come first, foremost.
period. Listen,
Versus, does he not want a person in his life who's going to treat his children well? Because the title of mother
hmm,
doesn't just encompass I hug you when I see you, doesn't just encompass I buy you birthday gifts. It doesn't just encompass, it encompasses
exactly,
all of it. So
exactly.
you got kids, you want somebody to come in and just treat them like they trash. That's what he's saying. Like they not there,
Listen,
they nothing. No, you can't do that to kids.
but when I tell
Mm-mm.
you, when I first stumbled across this video, Charlie, my blood was boiling.
Girl, I was
Like
cussing the screen.
the nerve of you, sir, the nerve of you to be as picky looking how you looking.
I know, right? He ain't even like if he was even if he was top tier, I would still have something to say about
I will
this.
still have a problem. Now, Sweet One said a quick sidebar. Did you,
Yeah, I heard
did
about
y'all
that,
hear,
child.
baby? Did y'all hear
I
about the
try to
ace
stay
metaphor
away
sleeping
from
with
the
all the women?
truth.
Rita, baby, listen. You know who I have been getting my life from as far as all that drama? Keita.
Keita Rose, yeah,
Baby,
boy.
Keita, I did not know Keita had, I think she said she's bipolar or something like that. And so she be all over the place. How did she be over there wearing them people out? Speaking of, Charlie, do you remember when you and I had a conversation about tonight's conversation and we were going over dates?
Yes.
So something told me to check my email this morning, and I did. Baby, they gonna be in my city in October. Who not gonna
Ooh,
be there?
child.
And Lance Grove's gonna be there too. Who not gonna be there?
Oh, girl,
I saw this
you
time I'm
better
not gonna
take me
miss
a
it.
picture. All I want to know is I want a picture of that fine looking specimen. I
Listen,
respect his wife, but I can still say he a fine looking specimen.
okay. And I went to look at tickets. I said, okay, tickets are $70. I said, but I had to ask. I said, where is this at? And then I saw the location. I said, oh, baby, this is Waterside. Hold on. I said, oh, I know exactly where this is. And I started looking at like the super VIP packages. It's like $299. I said, you know what? I may just have to go ahead and buy that,
Go
and that'll
ahead.
be my birthday gift because my birthday is September 28th. This is in October.
Happy birthday to me.
Okay, and I'll try to round up a group of my good girlfriends to come, but they're not into all of this stuff. I'm just like, if I got to go by myself, I will. Okay. But when I saw that email today, I said, "Ooh." See, Sweet One said, "I gotta go." I am. I'm gonna buy the tickets. I'm going to buy the tickets, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna go because I just want to look at two people. Well, really one. Bump Lance Groves as fine as he is. I
He
just want
is
to look at.
fine,
He
but we
is.
love
I want to look at
Kitty.
Mike the poet.
I want to
That's
talk
who
to
I would.
Kitty. That's who
Oh
I
my
want to
God.
speak to. I just want to hear
That's the
her.
reason why I want to be sitting up close and personal because I want to really, really hear her.
I want to feel it
Because
in my spirit.
yes, because I feel like places like that that have those type of conversations, I feel like yes, it's Kitty Rose, yes, it's Ace Metaphor and everybody else, but if you really listen to what Kitty Rose be saying,
She be speaking the word.
yes. Now, Charlie, I don't know if you saw this video, but there was a video that somebody tried to leak, trying to drag
Yeah,
Kitty Rose,
about the
and then
kid.
talk about how she like to eat booty, men's booty and being peed on, and I'm like. But how is this dragging her though? That's not dragging her. That's actually showing God's mercy and how once he put his hands on something, he can rearrange you and put you back in front of the same people that was talking about you and you can actually live a life. Like Fire Babe came back and Fire Babe said, I had to walk it, no, what she said, I had to walk it how I talk it. And I feel like that's what Kitty Rose did. So I'm just like,
She's
yeah.
always said she had a past and that she used to run ruckshot, and that how many times has she stated that now she's going through that with her daughters? How many
Yup.
times has she stated that I used to care more about men than myself? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? How many times has she's always admitted to things of the past? So it's not like, to me, it's a dig or a response. And even if she, let's say, was doing something like that in her committed relationship, it's between her, God, and the
That's
man
but
she's with.
okay. But I was happy that I stumbled across that video because I'm like, y'all can't use this to drag her. I mean, she literally turned her life around. And to me, I feel like that should be the bigger
That's a
focal point.
testimony.
Exactly. So when I saw, oh, they trying to expose her, yeah, okay, whatever. Whatever. Y'all can have that. Y'all are so shallow and your thinking is so minuscule that you don't see the actual message in this expose that y'all were trying to do. But I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. But honey,
No,
I
you
was
good,
so
girl.
happy when I got that email. I said, oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Okay. Back to the topic. So this clown.
Mm, that man right there made me so angry, girl. I was screaming at screen. Because here's the thing. As a parent, right? I have a
Mhm.
son and I was a single parent. Yes, every person that I dated, I didn't just date them for me. I had to make sure they were okay for him, because whoever's going to be in my life is going to be in his retrospectively, and vice versa. If I date a dude with kids, I know that he has
Mhm.
to, check me out, make sure I'm going to be, all those things in those check marks. When you
Yep.
have children, it is not about you anymore. It stops completely being about you. Not
Exactly.
saying
And
you
that's
don't.
actually, that question was actually one that I had written down in my notes, like, because I'm not a parent, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, when you were a single mother and you went out, you tried to date, were you dating specifically for you, or were you dating for us, meaning you and your son? And you kind of answered that question. So I appreciate that.
You kind of have to, if you think about it, because whoever you're retrospectively bringing in, right, you're bringing them to an already pre-made family,
Hmm.
right? And so they have to be willing to step into that family role. If they're not willing, don't do it. If you
Right.
can't give your all to a child, because children do not understand why you're being cold, why you're being standoffish, all those other things, right? All they know is, oh, you're dating my mommy. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And especially when my son was little, I had to be 20 times more vigilant, because you got
Right.
people who would try to date single moms to get close to kids. You got, the P
Yes.
words out there. You got to be
Yep.
very careful, because some dudes don't just try to date a single mother
Hey, J
because he
Don.
likes her. And some dudes don't want that responsibility of a child. Well, I'm sorry,
Right.
but if you can't handle that responsibility, you can't be with me. And I've literally said it up front. There's a few things that I think that everyone should, not even if you don't have kids, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I can't have any more children because of the pregnancy I had with him, and it caused my liver to go bad, blah blah blah, right?
I'm
Health
sorry to
issues.
hear that.
Because once you get 7, 8 months, it bear down on liver, it go bad, I could pass away. Anyway, so
Mm.
there's that. So I have to be upfront with that. And there was a lot of guys when I was in my 20s who wanted to have their own kids, and I had to make it upfront. I was like, "Are you willing to accept that I have a child?
Yeah.
I can't have any more children." These are big things you should talk about, because if you even if it's like on a second or third date, or in the very beginning when you first start talking on the phone, right? Set these things out. And the reason so is so that neither one of you waste your time. Because if they're not willing to understand that, if I would got with someone, let's say I would have got with someone who was adamant that they wanted kids, but they told me that they were fine with it.
Mhm.
And then let's say we're together 10 years and I tell them I cannot carry. Now we could pay a surrogate, or we could adopt. And
Right.
I'm okay with that. If they were fine with that.
Okay.
Right. But if they, let's say that they end up changing their mind, then they want me to carry. That
Mhm.
means you're telling me that all these years we had that conversation, it's not possible. You know that it affects my health. That means you don't really care about me. You just want what you want. And you thought in the beginning you could change my mind on things. See, that's what I'm talking about when it says
Interesting.
boundaries, like your hard nose in life. Like, let's say
All right, boo.
you don't want to have a shared bank account for bills. You want to
That's
pay your
true.
half, and they want to have theirs. And let's say you don't want that, and then 10 years down the road they want you to do that. but you've made that boundary clear for all those years, right?
Yeah, and you definitely made some very good points. And Sweet One said, "My prayers was always asking God to send me a man that will love my children like my child or children like his own." And that really, really
God
stuck out
bless
to
me.
me because seeing what she wrote made me think about what is it? I may be getting it wrong. I want to say like Ephesians 5:25, somewhere in there, where the Bible clearly instructs husbands to love their wives the way that Christ loved the church. And I also feel like that should also apply
To the
to
kids.
husbands that are marrying these women with children. Like your love just doesn't stop at the wife. If she has children, you can't, like, it's a
You can't
package
separate
deal.
it.
It's a
It
package
is
deal.
a
That's why
package.
that video really pissed me off.
You can't separate a package once it's together, because then that would be her basically saying that you are more important than my child, and your
Mm-hmm.
needs, your wants come before my child's at any step of the time, which means I'm going to push aside time for you, which I set aside time for my husband, but I also have time for
Right.
my son. But like, it's like I'm going to give you all of me and my child nothing. That is an abusive situation. Do you really want to put a mother to where she's being abusive to her child? Because point blank period, that's what it is. And
The
you yourself would be abusive to that child, because here's the thing: what if the child, depending on the age, now if he wanted to
hmm
wait and date someone who was older and their children were grown, and I mean grown, like in their
right, that's
30s,
different.
that's different. Then he could have that situation. But when you're talking about people with small children and you're sitting there saying you're not going to have nothing to do with them, you're going to ignore them, act like they don't exist, knowing they're living in the home, because as they said,
Yep.
most children live with their mothers, then you're
Yes.
going to be abusive to that child, is what
So
you're
let me
admitting.
ask you this. Let me ask you this, right? You said, if they're grown, like in their 30s. Ooh, this question may come off as messy, but I promise you I'm not being messy at all. Would you be able to date someone whose child is in their 30s and still living at home with them?
That one, I don't know. It's depends on the situation. If the
Okay.
child has health conditions that cause it, that's
Okay.
that's an exception. But if it's just, if they're both saving money that way and it just
hmm
helps with the rent, I can understand if they're pulling their weight in the house, right? But if they're just sitting there sponging, they ain't trying to do nothing with their life. They trying to eat off you, live off you, and do nothing. No, I'm sorry, I can't deal with that, because there's an unhealthy relationship there. It becomes toxic at a certain point, because when did you never push baby bird out the tree, you never made baby bird learn anything, and now baby bird never wants to leave, and so basically you're taking on the responsibility of taking care of that person for the rest of their life till the day you pass away. Now, with and they have no reason,
Okay.
right? Like, it's a reason if they have a medical condition
Right.
that causes something, or if they are physically unable, their special needs, right? That is a whole different
Oh
narrative
yeah,
than someone
that's
who is able bodied and
completely different.
able minded. Um,
Absolutely.
that just
And
means you being lazy, and you'll
okay.
excuse anything they do too.
Exactly.
So if I
Now,
say,
you
hey,
also kind of answered another question. I don't know how you do this. You also answered another question that I was going to ask you. And I was going to ask you, how were you able to carve out like personal time for your son, and then carve out personal time or personal romantic time for you and your then boyfriend, now husband now?
okay, so what you have to do is make sure that the main thing when you get in this relationship, and let's say you have been single for a long time, so you're used to being able to give all your time to your child.
hmm
What you have to make sure your child knows without a shadow of doubt is that no matter who I'm with, it will never change the love that I have for you. In fact, you're not going to get less love, you're going to get more love, right?
Right.
It's not going to be you losing anything. You're never going to lose mommy. Mommy's always going to be there. Reassure your child, because that's the main thing that kids need when it's a new situation, is reassurance, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then set aside time, say, hey, do you want to go watch a movie together? Do you want to do this? And it could just be random times. Like say Wednesday, you done did all your stuff for the week. You really ain't got much to do. Nothing's going on. Go, hey, do you want to go watch a movie together or something? Or do you want to play a game together or whatever it might be? If your child's up to it and they go, well, I'm not up to it today. Well, how about tomorrow? I think at such time I have for you. Just basically do it like that. And your child go, yeah, cool. You know, my son's 18 now, so I have to work around his schedule sometime. He'd be doing stuff. But, you know, or we'll all go out as a family and go to a movie date or go out to eat together and, you know, spend that time, all of us. But you also have to make sure, like they have Father and Son Day, where they go out to like their spot. They do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to go, they have a Chinese spot that they love that I don't really care for too much of what they got there. It's a ramen place. And the only thing they have that I like is the fried ramen. And they only have like 3 kinds. So it's not a huge choice, if that makes sense for me. So when they do that, they be going on there trying new restaurant deal. That's what they do. You know. Dope. So you each have to set aside time, not just one, because they got to build that bond too. They got to build that relationship. It don't just come from nowhere.
That's true. That's true. Now, for me, as the person on the opposite end of the spectrum, I have dated a guy with a child. Okay, one is one for me. One is the max. Two, I got to pray about. But for me, the thing I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, right? Once we were as far along into whatever we had going on, then he felt it was time for me to meet the baby mama. Listen.
That can go good or bad depending on the baby mama.
Ooh, okay. It was rather interesting. And to this day, her and I still we keep in touch. Him, he can go take a long walk off a short bridge. I don't too much care,
See,
Like,
that shows the relationship y'all built though during that
yeah.
time.
But I'm not gonna lie. At first, the way she came off, it was like, hold on, Biddy, what's going on here? Like, I ain't trying to be, your kid's mama. He already got one mama. I'm not stepping in for that. Like,
I
are you
got that
crazy?
same reaction, but you took it the way I did. See, some women they're going to take it as an attack instead of looking at it what it really is. That mama just turned into mama bear because she don't know you, so she's like, where's this woman coming from? What is in her mind? But because you took
Right,
it to a place of explaining, like, no, I'm not trying to take your place. I could never take your
right,
place. You laid down and had them. I'm just here to be an extension,
that's
if
it.
you will, and if a woman comes at it now, I'm gonna say this: if you are stepping in the role as I don't like saying stepmom, I say
Mhm,
stepped up mom because you stepped up,
mhm.
decided to be there. Um, then you have to make sure that you yourself come in it knowing that you will never be their real mother, and that should be
Right,
fine. If they get walked down the aisle or do something with a mama, that's specifically a mama related thing, you have to take that step back. But yes, bonus mom. I love that
bonus moms.
saying, sweet
Yes,
mom. I say bonus parents all the time, or bonus mom, bonus dad. That you are going to come secondary, and that should be fine by you. And you got to earn that title of mom. You don't just get it given to you. You don't ask for it. You
exactly.
don't expect it. If they never call you that, that is also fine.
And,
You
and
should
and
go by
honey,
what
it
the
took it
kid
quiet as it's
wants.
kept. Quiet as it's kept. Some of these women that here having kids, they don't deserve to be called mom either. But that's another topic for another day. Cause,
You ain't never wrong,
whew,
child.
I just really got my feelings about that. Hold on,
Because for
because
real
I
though,
hate that.
I'm gonna say this with this Daria situation and this Nora King. The number one thing I've always said: why is she having these dudes she's just meeting who she does not know? I don't care how much you think you know somebody, right?
Hmm.
I knew my husband and went to see him for 2 to 3 years before we moved in and he got to be around my child. Okay,
Yeah,
you don't
you have to
just
be very careful with who you bring around your
your
child, because
child.
children pick up on energy, children pick up on different spirits, and that's why my sister would always say, "Hey, if my kids come and tell me, mm-mm, I got a weird feeling
Even
about
as
that
an
one."
auntie, you wouldn't bring some like some dude like if you wasn't
Absolutely
serious
not.
about him, and you wasn't sure about it yet, you wouldn't bring them around your nieces and nephew, not
Mm-mm.
until you were sure that it was on more solid ground, because that's respect for the kids. You got to respect your children, your nieces, your nephews, so on and so forth. Like, I knew he was the one. That's why he asked for my hand in marriage to my dad, the old fashioned way, all that stuff. You feel me? So it was on a different playing level. But if I, any of the
Listen,
dudes that I talked to, my son don't even know half or a quarter of
you
them.
see what I'm saying? I dated I dated a pastor, right? Whoo! This dude met my mama before he ever met my nieces and nephews, because I'm just like,
I got to be sure you real before you get around
cause,
them.
cause it was one of them things where I was like, I don't even know if I like you like talk about it. but but because you were a pastor, and my mom and my daddy always had us in church, I'm just like, if anybody outside of me can pick up on the bad spirit, I know my parents can. And
And
so
that's a
and so
more,
they and so they met, and my parents just like, yeah, he's a cool dude. Oh, okay, okay, all right. That's why when I ran into unapologetically Mika, and she started talking about how she's Gullah Geechee and all this other kind of stuff. Baby, that thing triggered me real bad because he's from Beaufort, South Carolina, and baby, he is all things Gullah and Geechee. With him, I need a translator. I could barely understand when he get mad. That language can. I'm just like, look,
and
you
you
got
over
to
here
talk to your
like,
son.
what? Huh?
I'm over here typing in Google. What are you saying? So it's just I don't have kids, but whoever it is that no, I never brought them around my nieces and nephews because number one, my nephews. You remember that one I told you was all of 2 foot nothing?
Uh-huh.
He the type. He'll walk up to me and be like, "Partner, who was you?" I'm like, dude,
What's your intentions with my auntie?
right? Like that's how all the boys are, and I'm like, bruh, chill. It's all right. It's all right. And I know if I were to bring a guy around my niece now, especially that oldest one, she'd be like, I mean, okay. That's why I love my nieces. Baby, they are so easy. Okay. I'm like, geez, Louise. But I was always nervous to bring a guy around my family. Cause when I tell, ooh. Another reason why I was always nervous to bring a guy around my family is because my family, they're a little ticky ticky boom. And depending on what day it is,
You say the wrong thing, that's all it's gonna take.
okay.
I
And
got
and it's
that
just like
same
y'all
loud,
crazy.
boisterous family. I'm telling you.
Yes. And their excuses were, honey, I'm getting older, so I don't care what come about my okay.
Shit,
All
they don't
right.
care. They do not
They
care.
don't I had one elderly family member had nerve to call me and try to cuss me out. I said, hold on. I said, I will cuss you and your twin sister out. I said, don't you ever motherfucker call my phone with that. She said, do you know who we are? Yes. You're my great aunties. I said, but guess what? I'm grown, just like you are overly grown. You're overly ripe. You gonna call my phone and act like you got some sense.
And that's where you got your spicy attitude from.
Listen, my mama ain't play no games either. My mama from Detroit. My daddy from Miami. So crazy is on both sides of my family, okay? Both
I'm with
sides.
you on that one.
But not Angie laughing.
I could call one of mine. They're gonna help me hide the body. I'm just saying.
Listen, I got one cousin right now. All I gotta do is be like, meet up. He already know what that means. I'm just like what? Y'all gangsters. Like y'all stay over there, but they stay in church. Oh, but they likes to fight. They do. They like
Mm-hmm.
to fight. One of them cousins, he met one of my exes, and he was just like, he walked up to him. He said, "Bro, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I don't like you." And so my ex was just like, "Well, why?" My cousin said,
Something
"I
about you.
don't know.
Something
It's just
about you.
something about you I don't like." And so I'm like, "All right, well, hey." And then I didn't know that there was like this unspoken thing that men do. Like, not
They can
even three
size it
weeks
up.
later, not even 3 weeks later, it came out that man had a whole bunch of children. And so
I
I called my cousin and I told him, he said, and that's why I said, I don't like you, partner.
see.
I said,
I
well,
got them
hey,
vibes. That's what your cousin said. I already knew something was up. I just didn't know what it was. See, now it's just a confirmation.
half hood, half holy. Listen, half hood and half holy. The male cousins. Whew, yeah. Listen,
I
all I got
agree
to
with.
do is just send a text with one word. And they be like, "What's the address? Where we going?" I'm like, "Calm down. It's all right."
Oh no, and you got that one cousin that's like sweet one over here who is like the FBI, and they gonna find out everything about this man. They gonna call you, girl. Did you
Yes.
know that he had such and such charge at such and such time with such and such date? And da 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 da
Listen.
da. They gonna know all the
Listen.
info.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you a true story. Hmm. It's funny how things line up and how people are placed in certain places of your life, right? So I was at work. This was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. I'm sitting at work, and there's this chick that I've known her for a while. But one day at work, my phone started ringing, and then my sister's name popped up. So I answered the phone, talked to her right quick, and I hung up. And so the girl sat beside me. She said, "Hold on, what's your sister's name?" So I told her, and she said, "Oh, her baby daddy is X, Y, and Z. She live here. She live there." I said, "Hold on." I said, "Hold on, partner. Hold on." I said, "How the hell do you know that about my sister?" Honey, it came out that she was another baby mama. Her baby daddy.
Oh damn!
Oh. I said, okay. I said, well, child, tell me more. What's happening? And baby, when I tell you, she started spilling her guts. So what do I do? Baby, I go incognito. I grab my other cell phone. I turned on that voice recorder and I slid it right behind my computer. And I was asking her all kinds of stuff. And she was just spilling her guts out. And I said, oh, okay, okay. And she said, well, do you know such and such? I said, no, I don't know who that is. The whole time I knew who it was. I said, what you know about them? She said, oh, yeah, honey. And that's his other baby mama. He doing it. I said, oh. I said, really? I said, well, when was the last time you talked to my sister baby daddy? Oh, baby. She got to singing, showing text messages, pictures, everything. I said, and how recent was this? And so she told me all this stuff, honey. Soon as we got off work, I forwarded all the voice recordings to my sister. I said, you may want to listen to this. So by the time I got home, she was already at my house waiting. She said, now hold on, who was this? And I pulled her up on Facebook. She was just like, that's the chick that was at the house the other day when I went over there. And he told me that was his cousin. I said, oh, either he committed incest or he lying.
Woo, child,
And
y'all
I'm
call his
just,
ass.
and let me tell you something. My parents, my parents were the type of parents that no matter who we walked out the house with, if we get in a car with them, God bless them, they would go and get a pen and paper, write down license plates numbers. My daddy would write down VIN numbers, and then he'll pull his phone out, take a picture, just in case something happened, take a picture of the VIN number and the license plate. And then my sister said, well, he keep a social security card in here too. They taking pictures of that, tell us some just in case something happened. And so now that's what my sister does. So my sister said one day a car pulled up to the house. She said, I ain't know who this car was. She said, so I go out there, I get all the information. She said, I know somebody that can run that information. And I figured out who it was. I said, well, girl, who was it? She said, the same person that you work with. I said, oh. I'm like, so wait. I said, so did she like ever bring her kids around your baby daddy? So she had to go ask her kids. And her kids said, yeah. She bring them over there all the time. When I tell you my sister was hot, my sister was hot. Called him, tell me something. Don't you ever bring another woman around my kids and I don't know them. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, there goes,
Well, if
there
they
goes
have
that.
siblings, you know.
There goes that. I'm just like, "Ew." That was a little rough.
You're like, I'm staying about that situation.
Okay, I told her, I said, look, I'm only here to give you the information. What you do with it is what you do with it.
Don't
And
shoot the
honey,
messenger.
and ever since then, honey, I can't stand him and he can't stand me. And guess what? I don't give a damn. Okay? Because I ain't the one that slept with you, nigga. Who I just got real upset just thinking about him all over again. God, he's so
And you see
irritating.
his face, and you just like, I'm going to the gun
I
range
did.
later,
Like,
and I'm gonna print out your picture and put it on that target.
every time I even remotely talk about him, I wanna have a Medea moment and I wanna play grit ball with him. Like, bruh, you're an idiot.
Don't it
Anyway,
upset you when you know your sibling is doing
ex-
some messed up stuff, but you can't say or do
but
nothing
you
about
can't
it? You just gotta let them go through it, and you're
listen.
like, why are you being so dumb?
Listen. That's one thing my parents always told us. We're gonna tell you right from wrong, and you're gonna think you're grown, and you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna do what you want to do. But rest assured, it's gonna be one day you're gonna come back and be like, you know what? Y'all was right. Lo and behold, it happened to me and all of my siblings. I was like, dang, how y'all know that was gonna happen? I mean,
Because they'll
whew,
say I was young and dumb once too.
that's exactly what they say. They always say, I was your age once. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, had I just listened, I would have saved myself all of this mental anguish. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm a-okay on
I
that.
tried that with my second ex. My mom and daddy
Yes, the
told
VIN
me.
numbers. Oh, my parents ain't play them games. VIN numbers.
They told me not to mess with. They told me eventually, because at first he had them fooled too, right? Because he was good at it, you know. But eventually, my dad figured out and go, you know what I'm saying? But by that time, for
Hmm.
me, it was too late. I done fallen in love, right? And so I was like, I know better. Da 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 da. They were
Hmm.
right, and I tell them that all the time. You was right. I have to eat crow and admit you was right.
Absolutely. And and it's funny how things come full circle, right? Because I was having a conversation with my mom before, and I was like, I said, Mom, I said, you know what I want? She said, what? I said, I want to be able to find a love story like you and Daddy. She said, why is that? I said, because mind you, I told you my mom and them, they from Detroit. My daddy from Miami. My daddy ended up going to Dallas to go party with his friends. My aunt was in the military and she was stationed in Texas. So my mom and my older aunt decided to come down. And somehow or another, they ended up in Dallas at a club. October 85, January 86, they got married. September 87, here I come. And then after that, here come two other little rugrats. And I said, Ma, they don't make them like that no more. She said, that's because nowadays all y'all got is social media and swipe left. She said in my day, it wasn't no swipe left. It was you put your glad rags on and you go out and you mingle with folks. I said,
You
well,
got
yeah,
to
you
know them.
you
You had
got
to
a point.
talk to them. Like they're in today's world, people want it quick, right? They want it
Yeah,
right now. They think that everything's supposed to happen right now. Nobody wants to take the time to really get to know each other before they jump into a relationship. Like you jumping in too
absolutely,
fast. And
absolutely.
when I met my man, every person that I dated before this showed me they wasn't right for me. I'm gonna show you how they showed me. I'm gonna tell you.
Hmm.
So I made them go through a thing, and it's almost like jumping hoops, but not really. I'm going to talk to you for a while before we meet up for the first date. I'm going to get to
Right?
know you. We're going to get to know each other. And some of them, because they wanted it right now, they wanted it fast, they wanted a
Hmm.
quickie, didn't last more than a week and moved on to somebody else. So that showed
Hmm.
me that, because when God puts somebody in your path, they not just going to see you as a quick. And my husband told me that. He said, when I met you, I knew you were a different type of woman, that I wasn't looking at you as someone that's just a quick, you know what. And
Hmm.
he was in his, he had, when we met, he actually was married to someone. I actually knew him before he got married to her. I was like, oh God, I see all the red flags, but I can't say nothing. But then he was in his single phase, right?
Hmm.
We never crossed that line. We were just best friends. But he said, I saw you as someone who was more than that. You were wifey material. You were the type that you don't just play with. You don't play with your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And if I didn't have that respect for you, he said, I probably would have, even while I was in a relationship, tried to hit on you and
Oh
do things,
wow.
but I knew you wasn't that type of woman. He said, I knew you would cuss me out. I knew you wouldn't, you wouldn't be for that. You know what I'm saying? That it would ruin any chance of us ever being more than friends in the future
Right.
if it did happen. He said, I knew that going. That's why I never hit on you. He said, I thought you were beautiful back then. I thought you
Aw.
were the most gorgeous woman, but I knew that I couldn't cross those lines with you because that's not the type of woman you are. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
when a man is willing to wait, even when he was in his single phase, willing to
Mhm.
wait on you and to take those steps to get to know you, that shows that he sees potential in you for you to be more than just a quick, a quick in the bed
Absolutely.
or a passing phase. He sees
Mhm.
more in you. He sees you as that wife material, something he wants to obtain more
Absolutely.
than just I just want to obtain you because nobody else had you. I just want to obtain you because I like the thought of you, the idea of you. No, I want to obtain you because I want you forever.
Okay. I love that. I do. And and there's hold on, first and foremost, this comment, I
I'm
don't know why
telling
this
you.
comment is funny, but it is the truth. It's the truth. She
What up,
said,
Sassy?
She said pH balance don't get a chance to normalize before it's somebody else. No, you're absolutely right, cause honey. But some people, some females, as nasty as they are, they don't even care about a pH balance. Hey, sassy, welcome on
And they
in,
don't care about
honey.
them soul ties either. You know that,
Listen, oh
RNY.
baby, we're not gonna talk about soul ties because I can sit here and talk about that for hours. But it was something you said that reminded me of a very good lesson that a friend of mine in the industry kind of told me. So there was an event here that I was contracted to do background vocals for a huge gospel artist, right? And so I walked in the building, and I was talking to somebody, just having a casual conversation, and not sassy, and there goes sassy with this. I'm leaving. Bye, sassy. Thank you for showing up. She probably has a Sunday meeting. Y'all know how sassy does. Hey, stretch marks on my butt. Every time I see your name, that part of the song pops in my head. Um, so I was having a conversation with somebody, and the conversation, it wasn't a bad conversation, but they said something, and I almost slipped up and said something, right? So then I left and I went to the green room to go put my stuff down, meet with the makeup artist, everything else like that. And so the guy that was putting the event on, he said something to me that I carry with me to this day. He said this to me like maybe 9, at the most 11 years ago. He said, "Hey, I want you to understand how big of an opportunity this is." I said, "No, I get it. I'm okay." He said, "I always want you to remember this one thing. People will see you before they hear you." And so when you were talking about your husband, and how he said when he first saw you, he thought you was the most gorgeous girl in the world, blah 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 blah. I feel like that in that instance, men see us before they hear us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be you can be what's the term these young people say nowadays, a baddie. Not sassy in the chat laughing. These young people say a baddie. You can be a baddie all day long, but then the moment you open up your mouth,
Ooh, baby,
ma'am,
speak on it.
who are you? Who are you?
Most beautiful person in the world goes from a 10 to a 2 real quick when they open that mouth.
Exactly. Can't have a conversation. Illiterate as DF. Okay, just dumb. Bad and bougie. Exactly. Bad and bougie with no education. Bad and bougie, but can't have a conversation. Like bad and bougie sleeping on the air mattress. See, whew, I just kind of went off on a tangent. I didn't mean to do that. But I really feel like men will approach us how we present ourselves. So if you are presenting yourself to be a third pocket, then that's how you're going to be treated. You're going to be
Yep.
treated as such. But if you present yourself as a lady, you know, then typically they'll approach you as such. And my sisters always say that sometimes I have what they call a resting sassy and this I have an air
That's
sassy.
different,
Sassy,
sassy.
cut this out,
But
okay?
in your regular apartment, you got a regular bed. Don't even.
Okay. I bet you Sassy has, I can imagine her bedroom. It's a huge bed that's probably canopy style, that is probably draped with diamonds and everything else. Just like, I don't know. I just get all
But
things China
no,
vibes
no,
in her
it's
house.
bougie, but it's got some leopard print on it.
See, California King. See, I knew it. I She strikes me as a California King bed type of person. She does. Oh, she said no canopy, but good guess. Okay, I knew it
I
had to
bet you
be
she
a big
got all them
bed,
little cute pillows too.
and I bet you
Um,
she has a 5 million count Egyptian thread, comforters. Not let me block Charlie.
she
Listen,
always call her my bougie babe, and but she's bougetto.
see. Oh, you love pillows? I can't stand pillows. I
And
can't.
they color coded too. I bet you.
I
I
bet you
bet
they
you.
are.
I bet you they color
I bet you
coded.
Sassy has a different comforter set for every day of the week. She just strikes me as that type. I don't know why. When I think of Sassy, I think of extra. That's just that's just what it is. She said, no, hold on. The thing is, I don't. The thing is, I don't. Well, hold on. My eyes are crisscrossing. The thing is, I don't think some know how to be a lady isn't based on what they've been exposed to.
Cammy, you got a good,
Whew,
good one on that one
listen.
because I'm gonna tell you, being a lady is how you carry yourself, even when you walk, when you
Nuance.
speak, when you know, it's not just I don't dress a certain way outside the house, right?
See,
Because
I
I, c-
told
I
you.
I can dress in a way to where like my boobs are showing and all these things, and I'm still carrying myself
Hmm.
as a lady. Right. And so it's not just about the clothes that you wear. It's about how you respect yourself and you demand respect from others.
Hmm.
And you
And
ain't
this
out
is
here just,
why.
switching pH balances with other people.
I know. I Charlie, you get on my nerves. Now, Sassy said, I have a winter fall set and a spring summer set. Told you. Didn't I tell you? She strikes me as that type. Okay. And I bet you Sassy doesn't get her comforter sets and things like that from a Walmart or a Burlington. I have a feeling she gets them imported from Dubai. Uh, I really feel that way. Like she's just DHL knows her name, okay? Because everything
No,
is
it's
just
probably from the
imported.
Amazon because she's like, I like
Uh,
that one. It's cute.
okay, can it get here in 2 days?
Can it get here in 2 days? Yeah, because she's over here like, I can't be waiting. Mm-mm.
Sa- I'm leaving. Right, Dubai. Like that's just. She said, "Period, Charlie."
I got too much. See, she got too much stuff to do. That's why she said she needed to get here in 2 days because she's gonna go on a trip about
I
three
don't
days.
know why,
So
but
she
Sassy
needed.
doesn't strike me as the Amazon type.
She. Okay, I've told you she's Buzette. Yeah, Buzette. I can't even say the word now. I done messed up the whole
I'm
word.
like,
Y'all hear
she's
me?
I'm an empress.
She's a little bit bougie, but a little bit ghetto. Like you can't be
And,
taking away
and
her ghetto side.
exactly, and that goes back to the point that who was it, Cammy? That goes back to the point that Cammy made. How you present yourself. Everybody hasn't been exposed to how to present themselves like a lady. And not only present. And can I talk about this too?
Talk
Presenting
that
yourself
girl.
as a lady not only goes for in public. You got to present yourself like a lady even in your house. See, because you can be all well put together and well spoken, but then when you finally let them cross the threshold of your front door and you're a mess at home, we have a problem. We have a problem. So I feel like presenting yourself and being a lady is all encompassing. That's just me. I'm sorry.
I could be sitting around the house. I'm gonna tell you this one in my pajama pants, my hair all messed up in a bun. I got the
Mhm.
sloppiest t-shirt on because I'm in my comfort zone at that moment.
Mhm.
But I promise you, the way that I square my shoulders, the way that I speak, the way that I demand my respect. Because I'm gonna tell you, the most part of being a lady is being respectful, but demanding that same respect. Do not allow any man, I don't care who he is, to call you out your name or to speak to you in any type of manner. You are a lady and should be treated as such. And if
Mhm.
he can't do that, find one that will.
Okay. Because even in my offline life,
I will
whew,
cuss a bitch out.
these these
And
these
why?
these men don't talk to
Woo.
me like that. They know better. Cause there was a couple of times I had to put down that lady card and I had to put on. my street girl card because who the
I
fuck
will
you think
take
you
off
talking
these
to?
earrings and put the lady to the side for a minute.
Listen, because a couple of years ago, no lie, and my sisters, they still think I'm crazy. I'm walking in the store, grocery shopping, and this dude walked up to me and he said, "Hey, ma," and I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at my sister like, "Damn, I didn't know I had kids for somebody to call me ma." And then he said, "What's good, shorty?" I said, "Damn, I'm 5'11". I didn't know I was short. And he was just like, "Can I get to know?" No, 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 you can't get to know me nothing. Because the first thing that should have came out your mouth was, "Hello, my name is such and such. What is your name?" I'm not Ma. I'm not Shorty. I'm not. I ain't none of that. I said, "I don't know who the hell you think you talking to." I said, "But not me." And my sister was looking at me like, "Dang, you shut him down." No, no, no. Because if you're going to approach me like that, you're going to talk to me like you're a grown man. I ain't doing all that Shorty. My Nope, you not Papoose and I'm not Clarissa. Okay, we not about to do that.
You gonna call
Absolutely
me
not.
ma'am or Mrs. or Mrs. or call me by my name in a respectful manner. You,
Sassy.
you ain't gonna call me a female or none of those things.
Sassy. Sassy said this is kind of like the hood over here. Depends on what day of the week it is.
Yeah, it depends on day what day you catch me.
Exactly. Okay. I'm 5'7". I thought I was tall. No, baby, I am all of 5'11", honey. 5'11". All the women in my family tall. Hey, little Mama Obama, welcome, boo.
Hey, little
I'm
mama.
j-
Like, I'm
I'm
going to
just
say
saying.
this. Y'all have seen me get a little crazy when I think a dude disrespects me. And I'm
Hmm.
going to tell you, I don't just do that on here. I do that in real life. I will check a dude real quick, like, because I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to do it in a way
Right.
necessarily where I diminish him, but I am going to say, I ain't gonna take that. I'm a lady and you gonna talk to me as such. I'm not doing that. You're not doing this. Do you want me to find out who your big mama is, your auntie, your mama, and call them and let them know how you out here speaking to ladies? Because
Ooh,
I
yeah,
will
Charlotte,
do.
you country. Baby, you are country.
I'm calling one of the because you know the older women in the family. If I were to
Okay?
tell them how he is out here presenting to the himself and talking to a lady in a disrespectful manner, they will all jump his ass. I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to lift a finger.
Sassy said it's like the nice part of the hood where the preachers and nurses and military, etc.
You
Sassy.
know, all the nurses, they all live
Welcome
on
back,
one block
Sassy.
too. They
Oh,
all
yeah.
live on one block.
All of them live on. I'll never understand that. Never.
I
We
swear for
teach
God,
people
it's the
how to treat
truth.
us, good or bad. Let me tell you something. You better ask my ex do it. I ain't play them games. Absolutely not. In public, you gonna talk like you got some sense. Cause I had to. He was a pastor, and I had to cuss him out in his church. Watch how you talk to me. Talk to me nice. Like I cannot stand that. I'm sorry, I cannot stand to hear a man talking to a woman crazy in public and vice versa. Because let's be honest, women, we know our mouths can get a little
Mm-hmm.
reckless, honey. Because when we cock our head and we get the roll in our neck, it's it. That's it. And I have to catch myself sometimes. Cause I be ready to be like, nigga, who you talking to? And I have to catch myself. Cause if my grandparents and my parents ever caught me in public acting like that, they're gonna be like, "Who raised you
And
again?"
I'm gonna say this: didn't a lot of women are not taught this by the women in their lives or the men in their lives,
I don't
right?
know how to do the gyms. I gotta figure that part out, boo. Thank you.
Thank you for the
Oh,
chance
hold
and the
on.
super sticker.
Oh, thank you for the super sticker, boo. Thank you, thank you. What were you saying,
But
Charlie?
like they're not taught that. Okay, so when you're watching your mother get repeatedly disrespected and she's not carrying herself as a lady, right? And she's allowing disrespect to happen, then you
Right.
yourself start to think that is normal. That is not normal.
Facts.
My
Facts.
father taught
Exactly.
me that if he doesn't disrespect me, my son doesn't disrespect me, why in the world should I let any other man
You see
in the
what I'm
world
saying?
disrespect me?
You see what I'm saying? And that's why when people was just like, "Oh, but why doesn't check envy when first of all, I don't do no checking. Okay. Second of all, I came up in a house where even when my mom and dad would have a disagreement,
You
It
don't
was
do it in
never
front of
done
people.
in front of us. It was always done behind closed doors.
See,
That's
that's
why
what
I had to
people
tell
think.
people. That's why I had to tell people a while ago, like, y'all don't, y'all tell us you don't check him in front of. Why would I check envy in front of everybody? That's
It's not for
crazy.
everybody. Here's the thing. I'm
It's
gonna say a
not, and that is the
traditional
quickest way
woman
to make a man feel less than a man.
and
I'm
demasculated everything. When I
Sassy
got to
says
speak
she's
this out, I
perfect.
got to get it out. I got to get it out
Go
online.
ahead, boo.
Traditional women. Everybody, some people see them as weak because they think they don't open their mouths. No, they do. You just don't see it. When she gives him that side eye, and they walk into that car and she ain't saying nothing, he knows when he gets home, his ears fixing to get shut off. She's waiting until they either get in that car in private
Hmm.
or she wait until they get home in that bedroom. And then he's gonna hear everything that she's feeling in her heart, and he's gonna know about it that he was wrong. But she's not gonna do that in front of you because that's respect for her man. That is, you don't diminish a man or doubt their manhood in front of everybody. You
Hmm.
quietly check that shit and you say, if you ever do that again, it's over for us. I just want you to know these are my boundaries and this is what I will not put up with. And if you cross it, it's going to be a big problem. You don't,
Absolutely. And then I also feel like even in those secret conversation moments, I also feel like,
who them Caribbeans though?
baby, whew,
They'll cuss a bitch out in a
listen,
heartbeat, baby.
listen. Hmm. Never again would I do that. Absolutely not. Because I was talking to one Jamaican, and that was his everyday regular speaking voice and how they talk. I ain't like it because I felt
But
like
I
he was
will tell you
cussing me
this.
out, but he wasn't. But that's just how I felt. I said, "Oh no,
I'm,
baby,
it depends on which one. Because I'm going to tell you, there's two different sets, two different kinds. I've met, and if I hadn't been in a relationship, me and this Jamaican dude was, oh my God, when I say fine, he had dreads. He was just, oh my God, just edible. And he
not
was
edible."
super, super, when I say respectful
Uh huh.
to a lady and the way he speaks to them because he was raised right. And we were talking about food and everything else. And I was like, Jesus, you always trying to send them when I'm in a relationship. I don't know why you do this to me. Um, but
Okay.
this dude, there is two different sets. There's the one set, some of them are extremely disrespectful in the way they talk. It just is what it is. They're not intentionally, some of them trying to be disrespectful. It's just the way they talk, right? But
Mhm.
there's three different versions. I say the one who doesn't really mean it disrespectful, it's just their speech pattern. Then there's the ones that are meaning to be disrespectful. And
Right.
then there are dudes out there in the Caribbean, in the Caribbean, who their moms and their grandma, like they are built on respect. And women are above all. It's women and children, even above themselves. I'm talking about these men
See,
will put you on that pedestal, baby, and they will never take you down or try to knock you down or any of that stuff because you're the queen of their castle.
absolutely. Now,
I met
Charlie,
some child, and they good looking too,
I'm
child,
getting
and they
ready to
could
play this
cook,
video.
and they could cook. Okay,
Oh
I'm
yes,
just saying.
honey. Listen, you were talking about the food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think about this made me think about this video that I stumbled across, and honey, I'm getting ready to share this.
Oh, your
Because
mama would pop the crap out of you today, sweet one, just like mine would. Because that's one
listen,
thing that
okay?
Caribbeans and Southerners have in common is I'm 30, this will be 39. Me and RY gonna be in our 39th year soon.
Okay.
And I promise you, to this day, if I disrespected my elder and my mama heard about it, I'd get my mouth smacked, and I know you would too. And we would take it because we respect our parents. We were raised
Absolutely.
different. We have morals. We have standards that we were raised with, and that's what
See?
makes us different.
Now, when you were talking, you said something about ooh and the food. I'm about to
Ooh,
I'm about to play
you
this
gonna make me
video.
hungry,
I
girl.
promise you. Every single time I see this. Hold on.
Oh, Lord, 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 nothing I did, nothing I tried, nothing I smoked, nothing I snorted, nothing I drank, no man I did, no one did
Please,
me,
please, please, please.
nothing did me any good. Oh, Lord, even that food I put in my mouth wouldn't help me, Lord.
Help me, Lord.
Oh, Lord, Lord.
I need help, Lord. Cause that food, that food, that food. I
What?
never snorted nothing, no, but that food.
She said, "No, man, I did."
I ain't never did a lot of men, but that food. I'm with her on that one.
me up so bad.
That food, I'm telling you.
The best part about it was the lady at the very end.
You know
She
what
had
they
this
should have
look
did
like,
though?
what?
Girl, if they would have sliced that with
Whew.
greens, peas, potatoes, tomatoes, you
Oh my
know
God.
what? Would
Listen,
have
if
lost
they would
it.
have did that, Tessie said, oh, y'all wrong. Baby,
They should have
listen.
sliced it. Somebody needs to take that clip,
Oh,
please. Anybody in here who knows how to do stuff like
oh.
that, please take that clip and then mix it with the greens, peas, potatoes, tomatoes. You know, I
Listen,
swear
I
to
know
God.
Shirley Caesar regrets ever saying that because that thing was getting on my nerves that one year for Thanksgiving,
I
everybody
swear,
was doing it.
everybody,
Oh, but
everybody and
it's
their
just something
mama.
about that. It's just something about the food. No man, I did. I don't know why.
I
I
love
don't
that
know
one. You got to
why.
send that one to me because,
Oh, I'm
child,
gonna
that's
send that to
me.
you. Oh, there goes Jay Don. Hey, welcome
Oh, Jay
again.
Dunn, you was having a good life with your church. You was taking me to
Listen,
church, girl. And you know, you
listen.
got that soprano, and people be hollering about it. Oh, I don't like it when it's because they're not used to hearing a soprano voice alone. A soprano voice is high in tone for a reason.
Listen,
They
I
ain't never been in
enjoy Jay
choir.
Dunn.
They ain't
That's
never
why I
been in
said Jay
choir.
Dunn is a walking jukebox. Like her array of music and her catalog of music is crazy.
Oh,
It's
she be giving
absolutely
she come
crazy.
out with them country hits. I'm like, Jay oh wait, she's like, I'm like, yeah, you from Mississippi. I forgot. My bad. You was hanging around with them white girls.
Speaking of Mississippi,
Oh Lord, Mississippi. When ain't we
gee,
doing something, child?
speaking of Mississippi, before I go that route, I want to see No Shade. I want to see Jay Dunn and Eggy do a song together.
Ooh,
I
that'd be
think
good.
that will be no. As a matter of fact, Jay Dunn, Eggy, and Castro. That'll be really cute. That'll be cute. I'm Antiguan. Oh, Father God.
Ooh, Father God.
Mm. Yeah, y'all are
I want some of your food, sweet one. I need to be
Oh, y'all
invited
got
to your
more in the
house.
pot. Go ahead. So you're now past that 322? Listen, Jadon, that pot grew so quick. And I am so happy for them. I am, and I will have y'all no, they didn't come up with a date yet. So I will make sure I get that date so I can be there because I want to see this head to head between Uppity and
I
Lovely
would love
Love.
to hear Sweetwood talk though in Tiguan Creole. That would be so cool. I'm just
Oh
saying.
God. If I hear her speak her Creole language, I'm just gonna be like
I'm
in
gonna be like,
tears.
ooh. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Okay.
Okay. Now back to this Mississippi thing. I don't know what's going on in Mississippi because there was the what Nolan Wells,
Yep.
and then I don't know, Charlie, if you heard about recently what went on down there. They found somebody hanging from a tree.
Oh shit. See, in that South Mississippi, you gotta be careful down there. I'm gonna tell y'all. I've been down to Jackson, and Jackson's. Let me tell you what happened to me when I was down in
I only want
Jackson.
to go to Jackson for one thing, and that's just to see the dancing dolls
Me
dance in
too.
person.
I want to go
That's
see
it.
Coach D. Okay,
That's
and
it.
Kayla and them. Okay, because I love to dance the dolls. Okay.
Yes.
But I was okay. So the day that I got shipped down to Jackson from up here,
Oh shit.
you know what they told my
Really?
ambulance driver? My ambulance driver, they said, "Did you leave your
Damn.
keys in your ambulance?" He goes, "Yeah. Why? We've had 3 stolen in the last week."
Oh snap.
Like, you
So
ever heard some shit like that at a
Jadon,
hospital?
you went from 322 to almost 500.
Ooh, she got the New
Whew.
York with the Creole. Ooh, I gotta hear it.
Yeah. Damn,
Sweet one, I
Jadon.
need you to hit a link once. Just once.
I'm glad you're doing this for Lovely Love. I really am. I'm
I
glad you're
gotta
doing it
make
for
sure I'm
Lovely Love
subscribed
and
to Sweet
Uppity.
One.
Is Sweet One a content? I sound
I don't
regular,
know, but
Charlie.
we finna find out. Ooh,
I sound
ooh.
regular, Charlie. I actually have a New York accent too. I can turn it on, turn it off. Now, oh God, why do I have a reference for everything? Reading this comment made me think about what's his name? Oh God, DDG.
Oh yeah, DDG with that voice where he be doing the acting like the strong one is his voice and then the light one is not.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I said, "Whoa!" He said, "No, that deeper voice, that's my real voice. It just does not carry over well on mics when I'm doing music or whatever it is he does." I said, "Oh."
I,
I
not
said
to me.
no.
You keep doing that deep one, we gonna have
Okay, and like, listen, hold on.
us women. We love a man with a good deep
Okay,
voice. Okay,
I'm just like, you may want to keep that deep voice, all right? They
keep
just
it
said, I'm
because
so
you're gonna
happy
have
about it.
so many baby mamas.
Listen, and and people say when I get mad, I talk real country, and I don't be hearing it, but it is what it
When
is.
I get angry, my ghetto and my country come out the same time. And when I say it
Listen,
comes out at the exact same time, like it, people think I put on, but anybody who meets me in real life, Vivi has met me in real life. V. Lachey has met me in real
mhm,
life. And she will tell you, I talk just like I talk on here in real life. My husband will tell you, everybody around me will tell you, I'm not putting on this. It's just me, right? But when my ADHD acts up real bad, and because I'm not medicated right now, but when it acts up or I get really excited, like excitable, it comes out because that's like my normal me,
hold on,
right?
hold on.
This is
Did you
my
say, did you say
my
excitable?
yeah, like when you get like real hype and shit, like it comes out when I get real. You ever notice when I'm really hype and I'm
Uh
really
huh.
like really up there with my energy and stuff? If y'all
Yeah.
ever notice that it's way up there, that's because that's the me when I'm, you know, really excitable. If I get really angry, it comes out. It just is what it is. I can't change it, and I'm not trying to be nothing. I'm not. I'm just me. That's all I know how to be.
This
I just
excitable is like really tickling me.
you ever got like really really excited and like
Yes.
yeah, and so you like for me like certain words are more to come out and certain verbiage and things because I'm not thinking. I'm not trying to slow down my speech. I'm not trying to what do you call it, hold myself back.
Right.
This is me holding myself back, right? The
Hmm.
normal me that y'all see is because I feel comfortable being me. If
Okay.
that makes any sense, like
No, that
that's
does.
and so I'm just letting myself all hang out.
Okay. Let it, in the words of Little Richard, honey, he did an interview. God, but I don't know why I have a reference for everything, but I'll get ready to play this little clip. Me and my friend, we crack up at Little Richard during this interview every single time.
I love Little Richard.
Listen,
He
I
didn't
did not
care.
know. I did not know Little Richard was ooh wee. I know he was this goofy.
I
Is this it?
love
I
him.
think this is the one.
He
It
didn't
is.
care.
Okay.
He like Prince. He don't give a damn.
Not at all. I'm getting ready to play this one. And honey, when I tell you, it is a certain part of this that absolutely tickles me. Here you go. Oh, I'm getting better at this.
I'm so
I gotta
proud of you. Look
edit.
at you, girl.
I
Oof.
know, try. Okay, now let's make that big. Hold on, is this
They
it?
came to see me. Bumps Blackwell. I'm the been from all of her friends. She live around the corner from old Ramona. Everybody knows if you don't, she gonna. You got to keep on pushing. Now you know you can't get it. That's on WEA Records. Right here in London. They gonna do it up for Mobile and the rest of the fellas.
Thank you for the sponsor. Listen, but back to Macon, Georgia. How did you get to record in the first place?
I was down there and I was so tired. I was tired. If you ever seen anybody tired, I was tired, y'all. Lloyd Price had put out a blues hit called Lordy Miss Claudie. And he came through my hometown, Macon, Georgia, in a golden black Cadillac with a towel on the back of it. I thought he was going to roll it down the street, but he didn't.
Your particular style, your resonance of
Did it. Then they met me down in New Orleans.
yes.
It's a
And
certain
so I
part
went to,
I'm trying to
I
find.
did. Now my wife and my little boy. And he said, now we're going to make this tape and send this little tape up here to spell. A lot of people say I'm shy, but
Okay, it was towards the beginning.
ow, ow,
This is the part.
Go ahead.
let it all hang out with the beautiful little Richard from down in Macon, Georgia. I am the king of rock and roll. Ow, ow, ow. My. I just had to do that. Now I feel so much better. I got it out.
Were you always so shy?
Huh?
Were you always so shy?
No, I'm not.
Legacy.
A lot of people say I'm shy, but I'm not.
Tell me now, in 1956 you had a lot of hits, but before that, what were you doing?
I was a dishwasher.
But when I tell you,
He had to get it out.
Listen, he said, he
He was
said,
a
"Oh, I feel so
character.
much better." Like
So
Little Richard,
I'm the
what?
same way. Like people who like are like him and me, like we're not the quiet. We are the boisterous. We are the one that comes in a
Now you
room
sound like
and blows it
Castro.
up. We like, hey, how you doing? Oh my god, girl, how
Okay.
you been? I ain't seen you in 2 weeks.
Oh,
So how was that puppy dog? I heard all about it. I heard he was man. I heard that girl down the street, she was sleeping with the next one. What
uh
happened
huh.
with that situation? That's me when I walk in the room.
Listen. Oh, now he sound like Castro. That is sick.
Us
But Little Richard,
Southerners kind of do sound like Little Richard though when we get excited.
I love it. I love it. I'm from Texas, and I love me a good old country twang. That's why I love listening to Lady Nika, and I really like listening to her when she get mad. That's my favorite, cause
Ooh, her
that
Southern real come out when she get
oh,
mad.
I love it. And
Ooh,
that's why I
baby.
parlays over there in that Mo 3 sector. See, because when them females and them males over there get mad, I feel like I was looking at one chat and somebody said, I don't understand a word they saying. I said, I can tell you everything they
I tell you
saying.
everything they said. Shit, I
Because
understood
I
every
grew up
bit of it.
around that. You know what I'm saying? I grew up around that. I love a good country twang now. Love it. Love it. But that's all I really have for today. Charlie, check your Instagram. I sent you that clip about the lady that was talking about
Yes,
the food and the
ma'am.
man she did it.
I gotta hear that 15,000 times
Baby.
before the end of the night.
And you
Um,
gotta look at the lady's face towards the end. The one that
I
was
will.
standing beside
And
her.
then I was gonna shout out to Jay Dizzle about that contest. If you need
Yes.
a thumbnail or anything, hit us the stuff. But Ray Triggs, he be doing some great stuff with the AI. Like I don't know how
Yes.
to do all that now. I can make you a song and I can make some graphics, some videos, splice them together, do all that, right? But because I know how to use Canva. But as far as in like how he's doing that AI like he does and as good as
Hmm.
he does, shout out to Ray Triggs for that because I just want
Yes.
to give him his
Oh,
flowers.
Miss Cammy, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And shout out to
Oh,
the chat at Girl Talk. Always, y'all are amazing.
y'all
Always
are.
adding to the conversation. Always making us like think in different ways. Because I'm gonna say this: how do we learn as human beings, but from each other, right? So my
Exactly.
perspective may be different than Miss Cammy's
You're
or
very
even
welcome,
Sweet
Miss
One.
Cammy.
But y'all teach me stuff as well as I
Yes.
might teach you something. We do that for each other. And I just want to shout out to you RY for putting this together because I love
Thank
us being
you.
able to have these conversations and
Yes.
have a space to be able to do it. Please hit that
Absolutely.
like button, subscribe,
Yes.
share it out, tell a friend, tell a homie. And I love y'all and thank you for having me, RY Beautiful.
You're very welcome. And I'm gonna hit you up on Instagram too because I need you to write me some.
Okay, girl, I got you.
All right, boo. Thank you for
Love y'all.
coming. Love you
Bye.
too. Just subscribe. Oh, Cammy, thank you. I really appreciate that. Y'all, listen, it doesn't take much to make a gal like me happy. Like that really means a lot. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of you over here, okay? Every Sunday we meet down here between 5:30, 5:45. Just kind of having a talk with us girls, 'cause we don't have many spaces like this. So for you to subscribe to a space like this means a lot and tells me I'm doing my job. So I really appreciate y'all. Well, hey, listen, oh my God, we've reached the end of episode 15 of Girl Talk. Listen, like I always say, right? Oh, well, hold on. I honestly like the intimate channels. It gives a genuine feel. It does. It does. And that means a lot to me, sweet one. Hey, under the management, it is always a pleasure to see you over here. Always. Well, listen, like I always say, time is the most expensive currency and that you can't get that back. So I count it not robbery for you to, come loan me a pair of seconds of your day, okay? Like I said at the beginning, we have reached the end of the weekend, but the start of a new week, and this will be a prosperous and a blessed week for everybody, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss y'all. Listen, have a good week, okay? Have a good week. Have a good week on purpose. And don't let nobody irritate you. If they irritate you, honey, cuss them out and go about your business. All right? Y'all have a good one. Bye.